Hi, my name's Prem and I'm from Tribe, and today I wanted to share with you a very quick tool to protecting ourselves from projections that don't fit. So I think it's easy in life to take on a lot of what we think others are thinking of us, or what they're actually thinking of us and saying to us. Or it can be they're not actually saying, their words aren't saying what the projection is, but the way that they're saying something, we can feel that there's essentially a disparity between the language and the feeling underneath the words. So I think it's super important to be able to have discernment around what projections we allow in, and then also being open to allowing projections in if they feel true for us, and then letting ourselves feel the feeling that we feel about that, if it's true about us. In the same way that I think that it's equally as important to be able to have protection for ourselves and know how to not take on projections that don't fit for us. So I want to talk about two ways to do this. One would be, for example, a top-down way of doing this would be as in a way of thinking through it. And then I also want to talk about a bottom-up, so a body from the body up to the mind. So how we move the body will change the way that we are feeling. So a top-down moving through this process would look like asking myself, does that actually fit for me, what this person is saying? Kind of holding what they're saying, or what I can see they're potentially thinking, if they're not actually directly saying it, but it's implicit how they're feeling about me. Holding the thought here, out, away from me, and actually asking myself, does that fit? And then taking time to decide whether it does or not, and then if it doesn't, actually mentally letting it go, yeah? So that would be a mental way of processing that, and then my body would follow. My body would perhaps drop anxiety that it's feeling about that thing, or any feelings that I'm having, if it's not relevant for me to feel those things, because it's not true. However, if it does feel true, then I allow that thing in then, and then I let myself have my feelings about it. Now, how would I do that from a body perspective? So I want to tell you a micro posture that you can do whilst you're talking with anyone. You can do it in any situation. You can also do it if your mind is having thoughts about you that aren't true. So let's say the inner critic voice is really loud. You can also do it to that voice. So it doesn't even have to be someone. I'm going to give you a really quick example of this. Today I was in a class and I said to somebody who owned the yoga studio where we are doing this class, and I said, would it be okay for you to turn the heater on, please? And she said to me, can't you just put some more clothes on? And I said, yes, I can do that. And what I noticed in that moment was there was a lot of judgment coming out of her, right? So she's a bit of a hippie, and full respect to the hippies. I'm a hippie, actually. But, she had judgment about me. Maybe she was making up that I was a bit precious, or that a bit stupid for not having thought of that, or there was a bit of a tone really of like, that's a bit stupid, just put some more clothes on. And you see, I'm doing yoga, so I don't really want to have a big puffy jacket on. So I thought to myself, does that fit? Like, am I actually kind of being somehow rude? Because the response was, the feeling behind the words were, that's quite rude, or that there's something wrong with that request. And I sort of quickly checked in, am I being irresponsible, selfish in some way, And I thought, no, the way I asked was pretty open. There was like space to say no. I was open to hearing a no. And so what I did was, which is this micro posture. Now you're not going to be able to see my feet because I don't have my tripod here with me. But let me just explain my feet positioning. So one foot is just slightly in front of the other. So just slightly. So in this case, my left foot is just slightly in front of my right. Okay, and then this is so that and then I put the weight more in my left leg. So there's naturally already now, there's a feeling of, let's say there could be a pushing feeling to it, right? Where I'm pushing something away, because that's what I want to do, right? With this projection, even if it wasn't spoken, it was felt, I want to push it back, yeah? So I'm basically got 60% of my weight on this left front foot now. And I'm not like cracking out in a big yoga pose, but I've just got more weight on this left foot. And then with my right hand, I'm just going to put my hand down like this. So my hand's actually flat downwards. And in that, as I do that, I just feel this feeling of no. No. And so this is a more body up approach. Yeah, so I notice when I do this now, there's a downwards motion. So I'm feeling into my own body now. I'm in myself. I feel grounded. There's a certain sort of clarity to it. And there's a stillness. So something that can happen, I think, when someone has a projection of us can be it can create this sort of lack of stillness, you know, and start to get turbulent with this thing coming in. So this is a great sort of small little movement that I can do to just reorient my attention back inside of myself, slightly forward, pushing something out away from me, and kind of using my hand to press downwards. It's like no, but you're not actually doing that, right? So you can do it in a meeting underneath the table. You can do it at any point in time with your dog. I do it with my dog, and it's really actually made a huge difference. So you can see in those two examples there's a bottom-up learning and a top-down learning. Cool. I hope that you enjoyed this video. See you guys.